I didn't do this. I didn't do this 2 weeks ago. That was the issue. There we go. All right. So coming off the bye week, now back out to practice, getting ready for a road game this week. Obviously we talked about last week, talked about the previous game, and but we got to use those emotions and feelings to continue to push us forward. And look, I talked to the team on Sunday night about this. I said, we worked from the beginning of January 6th, really, when we first organized workouts and weight room training, really to put everything together for the season, right? And you do all that in the hopes and the goals to be able to play meaningful games in November. And here we are, meaningful games in November, exactly what we want, exactly what we've been working for. And everything now really comes to a head in these one-game seasons we have left. So, it'll be a lot of challenges to this game going up to Boston. But our focus has to be 100% on the task at hand. And it's funny. Tim Salem told me a story yesterday, which y'all can imagine, right? It was a story of it was Bud Grant, the old Vikings head coach. And is that right, Chad?
Oh yeah.
So,
I know Bud well.
do you? I didn't think so. So anyway, in the off season, I guess he worked on the Alaskan pipeline. They told a story about how the guys would go out there and they'd have like 5-minute shifts to go out there and have to come back in because it was cold. And they one day it broke. So one of the machines that ran it broke, and so the repairman came in and he goes out in the cold, and he's out there 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, and comes back in. It's all prepared and it's all done, fixed. The coach asked him, how in the world did you do that? And he said, well, all my energy was focused on the task in front of me, because I knew if that did not get fixed, that oil would be shut off. It'd be a chain reaction of what went on. And it was really a direct correlation, really, to what we talked about on Sunday with the team about all your energy and all your focus going towards one thing. Really, that like the magnifying glass, laser focus down in, and that's what we have right now. We're excited. It's going to be a big challenge for us. We're excited, and we'll be prepared to be up there and take these emotions and feelings that we have and put them to good use on Saturday.
Can you talk a little bit about your friendship relationship with Coach
O'Brien? I knew that was going to come quick. All right, so we can take the rest of the time on this one, I guess. But so this really started when I came on my official visit here in 1995. One of the GAs are always responsible for driving you around in the van or the whatever. And of course, Billy was the GA that drove me and my mom around when we came here on our official visit. And then, first years he was a grad assistant here, but he was one of those ones that even as a GA, you knew there was something different about him. He was treated as a coach, acted as a coach, acted like the job that he wanted, not the one that he had. And then when he was finished being a GA, he actually went back to his alma mater for I think like a week or something, back to Brown. And it was a weird deal because I was recruited by Brown coming out of high school. The coach that was recruiting me was one of his good friends. So that was kind of the relationship we struck up when I came here on my visit. And he goes there for a week or two, and then we have a position open up, and comes back down. He's a running backs coach, and a lot of really good coaches on that staff when I was playing, that all heavily influenced me and into who I am today and why I do what I do today. And then fast forward to being done playing, and I'm a grad assistant. It's his first year as the offensive coordinator here. He was blessed with the absolute worst GA in the history of the world, and that was me. I feel sorry for him. I apologize to him all the time for it. And then, obviously, the relationship has been strong for a long time, and so much respect for him, so many things that he's taught me and that are part of this program that he doesn't even realize and doesn't even know, just from times going out and visiting him out in Houston or conversations. Heck of a football coach, great person. I mean, his wife Colleen is amazing. The head coaches meetings this past the conference head coaches meetings, my wife and her were able to spend some time together too. I mean, just great person, great to be around, terrific football coach. You turn the tape on, you see his identity all over the tape when it comes to the physicality they play with, how they play the game. Their record is not indicative to anything you see on tape when you watch them play. So he's a competitor at the highest level. Can't say enough great things about him and how much respect I have for OB and the influence, impact he's had on me as a football coach and as a person.
Were there any specific X's and O's things or philosophies that you really took from him or tried to model?
Yeah, there are. One of the things I talk about here all the time is how you define toughness by watching film. How you cover kicks, how you stop the run, how you run the football, and that's something I picked up from him just going out and visiting when he was at Houston and things he would talk about. And so there's several things that have been part of the culture or the identity of our football team that came from him. Learned a lot of football from him too. A lot of football.
When you look at the tape on Boston College, what stands out about them?
I mean, especially, the kicker's amazing. And probably one of, if not one of the best kickers in the country. The way they run the football, the detail they have in the run game, the complementary plays, the tackle over stuff with the tight end backside, a lot of things to create conflict in the run game. I've been super impressed with their tight end group. Those guys come off and they will strike you off the line of scrimmage. They get movement at the point of attack. They control the C area. We got to do a great job with our defensive ends this week. As much power and counter and duo as they run, the plays that complement each other. There's detail in it. You can see that. Defensively, they're gonna. There's some varying looks they're gonna give you. I expect them to line up and play low safeties, low hat safeties, and have eyes on and be able to have extra eyes, extra hat on the quarterback, and in the run game. So we've got to play a complete game. Again, it's not indicative of what their record is, but they're a well-coached football team. All right, they've had a run of bad luck with some things, but that stuff changes pretty quickly. So we got to be prepared. We have to use our all of our energy focused in and going up and accomplishing what we have to accomplish.
Chad? I know Dylan too. As a quarterback, the talent, you got to be aware of him, obviously, and hurting you in the passing game.
Yeah, and he uses his feet well. Dylan was a really good player coming out of high school that we recruited here in my first year. Obviously the relationship with OB comes from their time over in Tuscaloosa. Really good arm. Just he's had some breaks, with the ball on the ground or a turnover, but he's got the arm talent. He's got the feet to hurt you in scrambling or design quarterback runs that they will run. A lot of conflict in what they do offensively now. It puts a lot of stress on the defense, and there's a lot of things we have to. But I'm pretty sure that they will try to expose early in the game things that we whether we didn't do well in the previous game or different formation things or fits. You can imagine we'll see those early in the football game.
Run defense has been a little bit of a struggle this year for you guys. It's been better traditionally. How did you approach that in terms of the bye week, and where are maybe some things where you guys can clean that up?
We play with 12 guys. we got a waiver. Yeah, play with 12. So we'll have that extra guy there. Make sure we stop. We've done a lot of things schematically. And then a lot of it comes back to players, defeating blocks, getting off blocks, anchoring down, setting the edge. This is a game we have to set the edge, right? And I'm not talking about contain. Contain can be from here to Marietta, right? And you still have to contain the defense. I'm talking about setting the edge and violently setting the edge and containing those things and forcing those balls to stay inside and not bounce.
With the potential to you getting some of the guys back on the back end of the defense, how does that help your defensive coordinator be able to help in the run game in the pass game and being a little bit more aggressive in coverage?
Yeah, really, Probably the opposite, probably a little less aggressive, you'd say. I mean, be able to play more technique, you get guys back up front. Helps in that regard. You get guys on the back end now. It changes some of the coverages you can play, changes how you look to protect a certain guy here or there. But at the end of the day, we've got to go out and we've got to perform. We've got to play good defense. We got to be able to stop the run and stop and keep the explosives going over our head. And you can't let them. You can't bleed both ways. You can't do it. You have to be able to take something away and then be able to adjust the rest.
Throughout the season, we've seen a lot of big pop runs from Malachi, outside, inside zone, whatever it may be.
We don't run inside zone.
Or sorry, I said it incorrectly, but inside, yeah. But what has stood out, or how valuable has his versatility been in the run game to what you guys do as an offense as a whole?
Yeah, it has been. That was a big thing at the end of last season. We had to build depth at that position, and we did that. He's got really good balance, body control. He very rarely goes down the first time, whether he spins out of it, whether he puts a hand down and keeps his balance and keeps going. He's got really low center of gravity where he plays with some power too. I mean, he's not afraid of collisions, not afraid of taking people on, but he's also got the ability to make people miss, and he's been good with the ball out in space as well. So a lot of it schematically, he's got really good vision to be able to see the cutback lanes. But as a running back, you have to understand what the reads are. You're reading it and be disciplined with your reads in order to be able to then let your ability take over.
Coach, you've been talking about obviously what the defense needs to do in the upcoming game against Boston College. What's your thoughts offensively, what you guys need to do, or just what you've been seeing from their defense?
If you wait till Thursday, I'll give you the game plan. We got to move the ball forward, not backwards. We got to work across the solid white line. No, what do we need to do offensively? All right, we've got to continue to move the ball in the open area of the field. But when we get in the red area, we need to score touchdowns. Bottom line. All right, way too many field goals we've kicked, and thank goodness we have a really good kicker. All right, but way too many times we've gotten down there, and I think we've had. I think I looked at it. I think it's 12 times we've been inside the 10-yard line this season, or no, it was 27 to 39 touchdowns, I believe it is. 12 of those times, and then so many of them have been down inside the 10. We've had 3 penalties that have brought us back. The discipline's got to maintain itself in the highest pressure moments. But you can sit there and say, we got to do this, we got to do that. This needs to happen. We can't do this. That's all a bunch of bull crap. All right, we need to line up and we need to get the ball in the end zone. Bottom line, if we want to continue to play meaningful games in the month of November, all right, we need to score touchdowns.
We'll get into injuries, I'm sure, on Thursday. But just in terms of health, how are you feeling about your team? You were pretty banged up.
I feel pretty good. I was a little down on me. You said, how am I feeling?
Team-wise.
Oh, the team. I think they're good. We are very healthy this time of year. Yeah, there's guys that have been banged up during the season. That's what the bye week's for, is to be able to sharpen your edge this type of year, but also get guys healthy. And time is the best cure-all. It is. So we'll know by towards the end of the week what guys we will be getting back and not getting back. They're all out there right now. And I say it all the time, player availability is the most important thing. But I thought Sunday's practice, when we came out Sunday, it was as fast and crisp and as much energy as we've had, and it carried over into today.
Let's go back to the red area for a little bit, follow up on that. Just lack of execution, guys thinking too much, maybe not the right play call. What's been the main issues down there?
Well, I mean, we had 2 4th downs we went forward and didn't get it. Those were execution. Okay. And look, me and Buster sit down every Sunday and we go through all the different situational calls, and be something, man, I'm beating myself up on that. I was like, don't. Yeah, you can always second guess yourself as a play caller, right? That's easy to have, 20/20 hindsight, but we got to be able to execute as well. And that's what I love about him. I mean, he's going to look at himself number one, right? And that's what great coaches do. They look at themselves, and we put ourselves in that position and say, what can we do better, right? And then it becomes the execution of the player. And look, we've had 3 times that we had penalties that backed us up. like I said, I think we're 27 to 39 with, two of them being, is it 27 to 39, Mike? Am I right on that? Don't worry about it. And, we've been consistent with the field goals, but, my gosh, too many times inside the 10-yard line. The penalties have been huge. We had drops. Right there alone, that's 4 or 5. Now you're looking at, pretty good percentages. We've got a high percentage of scoring in the red area, all right, but 3 and 7 is a big difference now, big difference. And I think that showed up last week, right? You start stacking up 3s instead of 7s. That is a major thing. And now how you have to play the game going into late in the third and the fourth quarter. 24-39, 2 of them being the fourth downs. There you go. That was close.
Anything else? Luke?
Two-part question for you. First, going back to Kelly's question, how is your health? Feeling good?
I appreciate you asking, man. That makes my day. I feel great.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that? Just it's
Do
the
you, know
in-depth
do, you,
questions.
do you know something about me I don't know?
No, I just didn't know.
Goodness gracious.
No, I just wanted to ask more the in-depth questions that you enjoy.
I tell you, I've been, I'm just finishing a round of antibiotics, and I've been, had some IVs, and probably be a questionable to probable.
Q next to the name. Okay.
No, I feel good. I feel great. That's one of the greatest things about coaching and coaching college football is being around the kids, being around young guys, and really being able to feed off of them and their emotions. And if you've been at practice today for the entirety and then seeing just the energy that they have right now, it really is contagious.
When you look at kind of perception, I know we had talked about this a little bit last week, but the perception nationally from people as opposed to what you guys see with the ACC this year, it's been very highly competitive at the top, a lot of parity in this conference. And I'm just curious your thoughts on how competitive this conference is, and if it maybe doesn't get the recognition it deserves this year for the product that it's put out.
Yeah, I don't know what type of recognition it gets and doesn't get. I just know it's a competitive league where anybody can beat anybody any given week. But that's really a reflection of college football right now. Everyone wants to talk about rev share and NIL and transfer portal and all these things in a negative light. To me, it's been the greatest thing that can happen to college football. Has there been some bumpy roads with it in the start? Yeah, but that's every 15 years or so, there's a major shift and change in college football. And if you go back and look at the last 60 years, probably, you can see those changes and shifts. And once you kind of weather the initial storm, they're usually always for the better. And people, it's not going anywhere. It's not changing. So what it's done, though, it's leveled the playing field a lot. It's allowed teams to change rosters really fast. Now, just to change your roster is part of it. You have to also have them be able to fit into the locker room and the culture of your team. But, being able to sit down and watch some games on Saturday during the bye, man, it's exciting. It's really exciting. The last 3, I would say probably in the last 3 years, college football has done almost a 180 in just the competitiveness of it. Every game's coming down to the wire. A lot of these meaningful games are coming down to the wire. You see really good players on teams that in the past be like, that doesn't make sense. And then you see teams in the past that were considered, these dynasty blue blood programs that are beatable every week. All right, and it's awesome. It really is. That's what you do it for. That's why the NFL is built to be a competitive league. Right? It's built where the first pick in the draft was the last place team. So there's always that parity in the game. And college football is becoming that too. And I think it's only going to make college football a better product as we continue to move forward with it.
You mentioned after the NC State game, season's not over. And obviously now you guys are back in control of your own destiny after this weekend.
Destiny, what a great word, destiny. Destiny. It's like we're going to fly off into like the Never Land and like we're in control of it.
I guess, do you see any difference? Do you see any difference in your approach or from the
about
kids?
Destiny?
Or whatever? No, just about what you said is coming to fruition. You have an opportunity to be back in control and play, 4 or 5 more games. Like, kind of how do you I guess, relate to your team that? And like, are you seeing them kind of having a positive reaction after the setback against NC State in terms of how they're approaching this week?
You know, that was so long ago. I mean, you gotta have short memory. But when I talked about emotions, there's two emotions that are felt right now by this team and by everybody involved in this team. Number one, there is an anger, a pissed off, hurt, mad emotion from the previous game. We've had 2 weeks to sit on that thing. Damn right I'm pissed off. Everyone is. But on the flip side, there's the excitement and the energy of what's in front of us. All right, so we got to be able to take those emotions, and in football is, oh, we can't use emotion. No, you have to take your emotions and channel them into energy. All right, that's what football is about. So really you have both ends of the spectrum with our team right now, and that's what we're using, the channeling that energy. Now we've just got to channel it over the next 3 days, 4 days into that small pinpoint focus in ability to go compete on Saturday.
Anything else?
That's it. Go Jackets.